Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.
Great day, everyone. This is Dolores Wiz with Divine Connections. We are a magazine that comes out on a quarterly basis in print as well as online. And we're spreading the good news with different gospel artists, entrepreneurs, pastors, and great things going on in the community. We do have a special going on right now. If you want to be featured in the magazine, make sure you send me an email so you can catch the special. Special is half page 60, full page 110. And that ad runs for 3 months, okay, in print as well as online. Also, make sure you stay connected with us through social media, which is Divine Connections Marketing on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, which is Divine Connections, just the word Divine Connections in one word. And then also make sure you like us or subscribe to us on YouTube, which is The Divine Connections, and that's the DIVINE Connections with an S. All right. So make sure you stay connected and click that notification button as well. So today I want to introduce our special guest. Works with a lot of young people as well as adults as well. But Mr. Sean Ingram, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today? Thank you for having me on.
Yes. So tell us who you are and then tell us what you do.
So I am Sean Ingram. I'm an author, motivational speaker, and founder of the Sean Ingram Academy. The Sean Ingram Academy is my mission and ministry to engage, enlighten, and elevate our at-risk youth from being juvenile delinquents into being productive citizens. So our ultimate goal is really just to keep our kids out of the jail cells and keep them into schools so they can be productive in life and reach their fullest potential.
Awesome. So tell us again about your book from, oh my gosh. Well, tell us the name of your book, first of all.
So it's From Poverty to Prison to Prosperity. That's actually one of my latest books, my autobiography. And that's what it is. It's just my true life story of what I went through, how I got through, and what I learned from what I was going through to help me get to me where I am now. Just truly how God saved me, how, you know, he broke my yoke, opened my mind, broke me down, built me back up again. And I just pray that, you know, through my transparency, people will see themselves. It would inspire people, it would help people. And it will also let people know that they're not the only one that's going through some things. You know, my testimony ain't for somebody who ain't never been through nothing. You know, mine is a real, you know what I mean, test of you know, what you're going to go through in life, the trials and tribulations, them valleys, them dark spots, them dark nights. But the blessing is, you know, it's a sun that still shines behind its darkest clouds. And, you know, God is truly great. And no matter what you're going through, he'll bring you through.
Yeah. So give us a little snippet of what you have been through, just so people can get an understanding of kind of like some things that you've been through that God has brought you out of.
I'll give you a little bit in a spoken word form.
Okay.
I said, he shot, but he hit not, but he almost grazed me. Fear closed my eyes, so I ain't even see when God saved me. Heard the voice of an old lady, grandmama or angel maybe, saying, baby, you're digging your own grave, so I'm praying for you faithfully. So I grew up very poor with my grandmother, mad at the world because my father wasn't there. He was always in and out of prison. My mom wasn't in my life, you know, at younger age. She was on drugs. And so I grew up very angry. So, you know, I found a lot of that love and that, you know, companionship in the streets, and being an athlete, you know, going to a school, you know, graduating in 1995, and you would think racism wasn't as pertinent, but, you know, it was always Sean, run harder, jump higher. But nobody even told me to take a SAT. Nobody even encouraged me to take a SAT, right? Wow. So after I found out how life, you know, truly was when it came to me, you know, just got mad again and went back to what I know. And that's when I found myself in federal prison for 5 years. And like you said, during that time, you know, I just asked God, yo, you know, what you want from me, man? I done tried everything. You know, I try to be good. I try to do it the right way. I try to listen, it just don't seem like it's working for me. And just, my grandma always used to talk about how God would talk to you, and you would know, and all that good stuff. And all right, whatever. Right. But just as clear as day, I was in the hole. I'll never forget it. I was actually in solitary confinement. Because when I first got to prison, for some odd reason, right, they lost my paperwork. They couldn't find my paperwork, so I couldn't even go out in regular population. And that's when God really started doing his work with me. I said, what you want from me? And like I said, just as clear as day, he said, I gave you every gift and talent that you ever needed, but you never did it for me. Do it for me. And I was like, what you mean, what you did? He was like, tell him how I saved you. And I was like, how you saved me? I'm sitting here in prison, looking at 5 years, like, which could have been 10, but, so I was like, and that's when I just made my deal with God, honestly. I said, all right, God, well, I'm going to trust you. I ain't got nothing else to lose. My mom had just passed right before. And, I just said, all right, I'm all in, right? And I'm all in. And I do know I've been blessed, beyond blessed with gifts and talents and visions. And a lot of people never believed in me. And it was hard for me to believe in me growing up, I'm from Wilson, North Carolina. So actually outside of Wilson, Stantonsburg, in a little country town. So you're talking about being on TV, or you're talking crazy, right? So where I'm from, people don't believe in dreams, but God showed me my dream at 7 or 8 years old. And so when you hear them stories, but I had nobody around me to help invest in that, right? Grandmama just loved me. She was just gonna love. She like, all right, whatever you say, all right, cool. But she, she couldn't help me or guide me or give me information to how to fulfill these dreams. So just trusting, believing in God when I didn't even believe in myself, has helped me get me to where I am now.
For sure that. I want to play a little video. I'm not sure if the music is going to play, but I do want them to see a little bit of what you do. Okay.
All right. And if the music don't play, I'll commentate it.
Oh, there you go.
We always gonna be on time. We're gonna be all right.
There you go. Exactly. All right, here we go. Yeah, commentate it.
So, like I said, I am an author, motivational speaker. One of the greatest blessings is to be able to travel and meet so many people. I tell people, even in business, one of the things about business that I've learned, everything is about building and retaining relationships. People are always thinking about money, but I'm always thinking about putting myself in position. So this video shows you just a little bit of me speaking at diversion programs, speaking at, I had a chance to actually open up for Dougie Fresh. So, and like I said, from where I come from, it's just truly, truly amazing to open up for greats like Rakim, or, but not only to open up and perform for them, but to actually sit down and have conversations with them and ask them to say, hey, how do you get to where you are, and what should I expect on this journey? And one thing I had to learn in life, is that there's a difference between being a performer and being a leader, right? There's a difference between being an entrepreneur and a businessman and a leader. So God has called me to be in leadership, and I wasn't ready for that one. That's a whole, different training in its own. So, just getting that spiritual advice from spiritual counselors and advisors around me, because I get weak, I get tired, I guess, social media make everybody look like they doing real good, but Sean be getting weary. So, and like I said before, but I pray my transparency helps people, right? Because I'll be like, well, maybe this conversation ain't for everybody. I ain't the one that's doing good all the time. I'm the one that got a cross to bear most days. So, but like you said, God be the glory that I'm learning now.
Okay, wait.
The video.
Hold on.
He has single-handedly, I think, one of the most transformational programs that we have in our region, the Sean Ingram Academy. So if you all will help me give a round of applause for our main speaker today. How y'all doing today? Y'all gotta give me a little bit more energy. Everything that I learned in the streets, I didn't understand how to apply it in an appropriate manner. Because I didn't understand that I needed relationships. I needed relationships because we talking in the world. I don't need nobody. I don't need you. I don't know you like that. I don't need to know you. The fact of the matter is, I do need you, and I can't make it on my own. So they say in our world, your network will equal your net worth. You know what I mean? It's a different mindset, different concept. Still the same thing. We just said it in different phrases. One thing we gotta understand is you can do whatever you want to do. You gotta visualize your victory. And you got to want it. I want it. So can't nobody judge me on what I have. Yeah, I'm blessed, but I work for it. I believe in the unbelievable. Because he did it for me, I know he can do it for you. But the thing is, do you want it? Do you deserve it? How many of y'all want it? That's what I really want to know today. Like, are you really, really dedicated to succeed? We only get one chance in life sometimes. We only get that one opportunity to make that first impression or that lasting impression. The question is, do you want to win or not? And you ain't really saying it to us, you gotta say it to yourself. Every morning I wake up, I look in the mirror and say, Sean, we gotta get it. We gotta get it, brother. Hey, going back ain't an option. That ain't an option. We gotta get it, baby. Yeah, you tired. I'm tired. So are you ready to win or not? If you are ready to win, I want you to say I am. Are you ready to win? I am. That's what it is, man. Thank you. Wow. I can't explain to you what we just witnessed. Hearing Sean speak, I've known the young man for about 20 years, and every single time to hear him talk about his struggle, to talk about his success, to give up himself so much to young people, it's truly remarkable. I'm blessed to be a part of the process. You, that's motivation to speak. You, that's going to motivate me. You, that's going to make me go out there and motivate people. You, that's going to be the one that's going to help me succeed in life. Hi, my name is Don Turnage, and I'm a youth counselor with the Department of Juvenile Justice. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was inspired myself with the different speakers that was here and the community and the relationship that was built. This graduation has been pretty amazing. Having Sean a part of it took it to another level.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if somebody was interested in the Sean Ingram's Academy, how would they go about doing that? What do you do? Like, how can they be a part?
You just go to the website. It's the Sean Ingram Academy.org, O-R-G, the Sean Ingram Academy.org. Up there, we have opportunities for support as far as fundraising. We're always looking for fundraisers. And I tell people, honestly, for me, that's why I have a kiosk over here at Crabtree Valley Mall where I'm at right now. I actually, sell my books, my shirts, and things of that sort. But honestly, I just ask everybody for $1. I believe in collective economics. I tell everybody, I believe asking $1 million for one and not one for $1 million. You know what I mean? Especially with our Black community, I think it's just time that we just got to come together and support each other. Support our own and elevate our own communities and our youth. So many times we're quick to talk about the youth, but then as soon as the youth do ask for help or need help, we ain't even there to show up. So of course they call us hypocrites and they mad and they don't want to rock with us in a sense. No, trust me, I sit out here all day and I know at least thousands of my people walk by me and won't even donate $1, and that's one of the things I said I have to do as a leader also, just start being more vocal about, the understanding that while our generational gap is becoming more and more and more distant, and it really is, it's communication issues, it's support issues, it's, and I do think, us elders are starting to look very hypocritical to youth when we keep talking at them, but we're not conversating with them. That's a big difference. I did a speech one time. I said, we talk the talk about are we speaking the right language? And a lot of times I don't think we're talking the right language, right? And we all know, we can say one thing, but what we show, right, is something totally different.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just go to the Sean Ingram Academy.org and like I said, we definitely appreciate, any type of support, whether you want to volunteer. I'm always looking for people to speak to our youth. It's just not about what Sean Ingram say. I'm a father too, so it's just like with my own 15-year-old daughter. I could tell her the sky blue and she'll never believe it. Then I can get my friend to come over. He say the sky blue, and she had like it's a new revelation to her, right? So I understand that sometimes it's not about me reaching every child. It's just about putting them in the right environment and connecting them to as many people, because at some point you get it, right? And I was just telling a lady earlier, I was the same way. For 22 years I didn't get it. For 22 years. But when I was in prison, it honestly was like overnight a bright light came and said, okay, God, I get it, right?
Yeah.
And every conversation that people had with me from childhood, especially in the community, in the church, wherever, all them good things that they were saying started just playing back in my head, and it just started making sense to me. So, and that's what a guy was telling me one time. He said, our job is to sow the seeds. We might not always see the reap or the harvest, right? We might not see and we might not even get the chance to eat the fruit that come off the tree, right? But our job is to sow the seed. Then somebody else's job might be to water it. Somebody else's job might be, whatever the case may be. So that's what the goal is now. That's why for me it is about engaging, enlightening, and elevating. And really it's their mindset, because I reach kids to a point where they won't listen to nobody. But if I work with them and I can get them to at least be willing to listen, then when you come around, Mr. Lawrence, you might could put something into them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I might then open up their mind. I might just, broke their heart open a little bit so they could be receptive of people. I'm always arguing with teachers in schools about that too, sometimes about progress. I was like, no, y'all want them to go to A to Z overnight. Sometimes it takes, that A to A and a half is a blessing.
That's right.
So we got to keep pushing that blessing, and then when they get to B, then we can keep pushing them, but at least we're in a forward progress. So that's what my role honestly is, because like I said, I work with all type of youth, disadvantaged youth, at-risk youth in gangs, and it is truly a blessing to be at a level where kids respect you and will conversate with you. My program is more one-on-one. I work directly with the school. I work directly with the court, pertaining to kid. If the kid is in trouble, I intervene in that aspect. Sometimes kids call me. They might have mental health issues and want to commit suicide. So it's a blessing that they feel free enough to give me a call and tell me what's going on. Sometimes I get kids just to call me and cuss me out because they spazzing out. And I sit right there and listen, like, no doubt, I still love you though. It's all good, right? But it's just being that accountability coach, but just being there. I think a lot of our kids aren't used to people really being there anymore. That's an unfortunate thing. They're not used to people trusting people and depending on people, because I was the same way. I'll be honest with you. I didn't somebody say, oh, I'm gonna be there for you. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you're gonna leave just like everybody else left, So now just to have somebody that that's gonna rock with you through thick and thin is a true blessing.
Right. Yeah, that trust and building a relationship with the young people is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's all.
They're not always going to talk to their parents. Most times if they young, they'll talk amongst each other, maybe.
Yeah. People sometimes when I was doing my school programs, like I teach creative writing, and like I said, and normally I would work with the lower 25%, right, in any capacity, and they would put all the technically worst kids in one class with me, and we're talking about creative writing, right? Kids that can't write or don't even like reading, and they would always be amazed how I would allow them to grow. And I said, no, because my first 2 days of class, we ain't doing no work. We're just talking to each other. We got to get to know each other, so I build a relationship with them. And then I can walk around the whole school and be like, hey, we're going to go clean up every trash can in the school. And they'll be like, okay, we got you, Mr. Sean, right? And for me, like I said, I had a teacher who believed in me before I believed in myself. So I use that same approach. I tell them I need them to do it for me. Once they see they can do it, then I said, now it's time for you to do it for yourself. You can do it. But sometimes we just need somebody to do something for. even if it
Right.
ain't even for us. Like I would do things for my grandma that I can care less about me, right? So it's just sometimes we just need somebody to who we know care about us enough so we can care about ourselves.
That's right. That's right. And talk a little bit about, I guess, maybe the your journey on the being an entrepreneur, and if somebody's interested, whether they're youth or an adult, about being an entrepreneur and the benefits with that, and how your
Oh
journey
yeah,
has been.
oh my journey. Like I said, as a kid, I always been a visionary. So I started my publishing company when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
And I'll tell you another. So when I was in the ninth grade, you know how the counselors always ask you what you want to be when you grow up. And I told mine I wanted to be a writer because, like I said, since I've been 7 or 8, I just knew I had a gift. I didn't understand it at all, but I knew it just had a gift with putting together words and the way, I thought. So I told her I wanted to be a writer because at that time, and this is 91 or something like that, I just felt like me and my homeboys, we didn't like to read because we can relate to the material in the book. So I figured if
Right.
I could write books, then we might be more engaged to read. And we know reading is a big part of being an intellectual in education. So
Uh-huh.
this counselor from where I'm from, she told me to reach for something more attainable because, like I said, I'm from outside of Wilson. Our biggest goal, if it weren't for football, it was like just graduating and getting on that Firestone. Then you made it.
Yeah.
But that really that did something real serious to me, and
Yeah.
knowing that I had already had a hustler background, I was like, yo, she really got me mixed up with somebody else. So I set it out. My life, my life mission was like, I'm going to publish a book. So when I was 17, 18 years old, that's what my first business was. I actually self-published my own book, and the journey has been amazingly hard. Uh, like you said, because I didn't have a lot of people around me to help educate me. So I tell younger business people, anybody in business, first of all, like simplify your system, right?
Mm.
Steve Harvey said it best. We always want to make a million. He said, no, just
Right.
focus on making $10, and then you
That's
just
right.
keep duplicating, right? If you make 110, figure out how you made it, and then you just keep doing
That's
that 100,000 times, and that's your 1 million, right?
right.
So I'm actually doing a seminar next week. Building your business from broke. People always talking about, because in our community, people you say, okay, I want to start this company. It was like, well, you ain't got no money. You don't, you're like, you don't need no money. Like you just need to understand. You have the vision. Then you
Uh-huh.
put the number on the paper of what you need. Then you figure out, okay, who do I know? What do I need to do to get this money? Let's say
Right.
church, right? Let's say you got 50 people in your church, and I'm all about being a methodical thinker. I'm all about numbers, right? Let's say you got 50 people in your church and your goal is 500, right? To
Uh-huh.
start your business, to buy your product. And like I said, don't go out there and outfit it and buy $1 million worth of stuff. No, you buy enough
Right.
so 10 people can buy it, and then you can go back, you can re-up or get your supplies. So you just go ask 10, 50 people in your church for what? $10. Just say, hey, will you mind supporting my business? Will you mind pre-ordering? I'm starting a business. I need your support. You take that 500, go buy 200 in product, right? Then you go
Right.
buy $40 in business cards. That's your startup. Then you still
Right.
got an extra 200 left over. You sell that, then you take that money that you profited. A lot of times we just impatient. To build it day by day, dollar for dollar. People look at me right now and think, wow, you've accomplished so much, and which I have. I've been blessed, right? But they don't
Right.
understand it's been over 25 years.
Mm.
Like there's been a
Right.
25-year journey. And one of my goals was not only just to make money, but to own myself, right? So I
Yeah.
own every book, I own all my
Wow.
publishing, I own right every design, I own everything. I taught myself how to do graphics, I taught myself how to do video, because I wanted just not money, I wanted generational wealth. I wanted to put my daughters in a position to say, yo, my granddaddy put in the work. Now this name Sean Ingram, like Ralph Lauren, I'm gonna live off of it, right? Versace
Yeah.
grandkids is gonna live off. So it's about well, first let me definitely say that understand what you're doing. Are you building a business or are you building a kingdom? right? There's a difference. If you want to build a business, if you want to just make some money, quick hustle, whatever it is, that's one thing. But if you're trying to build an empire that's gonna like me, I needed to change my family name from being negative to positive. I needed to change, like I wanted to create a brand that, like I said, it's gonna take care of generations to come. So when I'm in business meetings, when I'm, my daily moves, I'm thinking about that. Like what people seeing right now, I thought about this 10 years ago, right? I started putting in place 10 years ago. And so my conversations today is for 25 years later, right?
Okay.
Like I'm working now. I tell people like I'm on my 20-year countdown. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's over. It's like it's over in 20 years. And it ain't about working, it's about building it so to make sure that it sustains for the rest of my, like you said, my grandkids life.
Right.
So just whatever you like, and really outline it to because honestly, like I said, everything is about building and retaining relationships. You can sell anything. I've been blessed to travel. I've seen people selling popsicle sticks and building little houses. I've seen people selling, like
Yeah.
some of the craziest stuff in the world. But
Yeah.
they put their system together. That's another thing I want to say too, is about systems, right?
That's
Making
right.
money is one thing, but creating a system is what retains and continue to make money.
Mhm.
That sustainable money in a sense. So make sure you create a system that, like I said, that's just going to generate. And don't, it's not about the number. It's about, like you said, how many times that system can generate another $5, five
That's right.
dollars, $5. But then when you look up, and like you said, keeping your overhead very low, your income, right? Making sure that a lot of people just ain't into your pocket, making sure that you ain't spending money. Because one time I looked at my business and I wasted more money than I was making or needed to make, right? Just because I thought that's just the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get, that company Centus, they bring like paper towels and they set
Okay.
stuff up. I was
Mhm.
like, man, I can go to Sam's Club and get my own paper towels. Like, cause you thinking you supposed to be business, right? Like we get
Yeah.
put in a position that we supposed to be business. Like if you don't got marble floors, people ain't gonna support you. And it's a cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
But we'll go to another establishment that might be in a warehouse that ain't even got floors, that ain't got no paint on the wall, and we'll
Yeah.
buy $300 jeans from them because they're considered antique, right? So
Right.
we just gotta take those barriers off of us and say, hey, look, I'm just providing good quality service. Either you want it or you don't. Me and a
Right.
friend of mine over here was talking the other day. Don't sell yourself cheap either.
That's
Um,
right.
a lot of people would try to hustle you, but they don't understand they're hustling your gifts and talents. They're hustling your thoughts and your ideas. Like, I
Right.
had a man ask me, could he get a $25 hoodie for $20? And I said, no, sir. He looked at me like I was crazy, right? Will he go over to Macy's and ask them for a discount, right? So
Okay.
I'm not gonna allow myself to be disrespected. And it ain't, like you said, it ain't even about the money for me. It's just about the principle of the matter.
Right.
It's about the disrespect to say, oh, so you rather go pay for something than to support me, right? So
Right.
just make sure whatever you stand on, because at the end of the day, your money might not come as fast, but trust and believe you're building a brand and you're building respect, and
That's right.
respect will make you more money in the long run
That's good.
than just okay, yes, and because you feel dependent upon the people. But that's not what true support is. True support is, if I go to Chick-fil-A, I always talk about Chick-fil-A because I love their model. Look
Yeah.
at different models. Look at different models that you can learn from. I don't
That's
care.
right.
I've traveled this country in my truck, right? I don't like flying. I like to be able to drive. I like being mobile. Now I travel this country in my truck. My truck got over 320,000 miles on it right now. And I don't
Yes.
care where I've been in this world. Chick-fil-A is Chick-fil-A. Everybody got the same mannerisms. Everybody, the food gonna taste the same. They ain't got but 8 items on their menu, right? They're gonna ask you what you want. It's either gonna be chicken on a bun, it's gonna be chicken on a salad, but it's gonna be the same piece of chicken. So don't
That's right.
feel like you have to do everything or supply everything. Be good at what you do. Whatever it is that you do, just be good at it. And and like I said, build them relationships and just let it build.
Awesome, awesome. All right, share with us some contact information if someone is interested either in donating into the academy or getting, information to you, or you getting information to them about the academy. If a young person want to talk to you, what's your contact information, or how can people contact you?
And so actually my email is the word email, email at seaningram.info. And that's the website. You want to go to that website, it's www.seaningram, that's SEANINGRAM.info. Then we also have the Sean Ingram Academy.org. That's ORG, the Sean Ingram Academy. If you want to donate, definitely appreciate it. Cash App is just simply the $ the Sean Ingram Academy. Like I said, that's SEANINGRAM Academy, the Sean Ingram Academy. Or just text me. I mean, I got a direct text phone. So you can text me directly at 919-649-9815. And I'm a real person. People hit me up all the time. So, oh man, I ain't even expect you to answer, or I didn't expect you to respond. Like,
Yeah,
no, like I'm I'm not a fictional character. I'm really out here, like you said, just trying to build relationships, meet people. I've learned in my time that I love conversations because people come to me for stuff, but I always get something from them as much as they, more than they get from me.
yeah,
I'll tell people straight up, I conversate with everybody, but I only hold conversations with a selective few, and that's based off their conversation. I'll be honest with you on that.
right.
And like I said, I've just learned to, I learned to understand time and energy,
Mhm.
but everybody got a fair shot, right? Everybody get an open door to say, hey, let me see what you're talking about. Or like you said, because I'm always looking for the synergy and the mutual benefits of how we can actually build.
Right. Awesome. And you're at Crabtree Mall. So tell us, what are you doing out there?
So over here at Crabtree Mall, matter of fact, let me see if I can take y'all on
At
a little
Raleigh.
tour. Yeah, I'm at Crabtree Valley Mall in Raleigh. I'm gonna get up. Let me see if y'all can see this. So behind me, like this is one of my hoodies. Hold on, I ain't never been like a weather person, so I got to figure this thing out right fast. Okay, so this is one of my hoodies. This says, "The devil is a liar, God is the truth, and I am the proof." So we got just different shirts. These are my different books down here. You see, I have 6 books that's in major stores. But like I said, I'm all about ownership. So
Yeah.
even though they're in major stores, I always wanted to own myself. As you see over here, we just got, like you said, it's just a very, very inspirational booth. So
Yeah.
between my books, my shirts, and things of that sort, this is how I fund myself. And like I said, when I first got on, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but I learned real fast because mine is a nonprofit, and I learned real fast that people treat you. I want to make sure I say this the right way. People will treat you how they feel about you. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
lot of people don't support me because I'm Sean Ingram. They don't support the Sean Ingram Academy because I'm Sean Ingram. Good for good and bad, right? So a lot of times, even with grantors, right? People always talk about writing grants, but grants is relationships too. You have good
Yeah.
relationships and you have bad relationships, and I know everybody don't mean well for me. I'll just be honest with you because sometimes, a lot of what I do goes against the system of destroying systematic slavery, destroying the school to prison pipeline, destroying a lot of the things that they put in place for benefit. So I found myself where a lot of people don't support me, ironically. So now they mad at me because I put myself in a position to support myself and my youth and my programs, and they still mad. So it's just one of them things. But make sure that when you building whatever you're building it dependent upon you, your thoughts, your gifts, and God at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So no matter what happens, no matter who decides they want to pull a grant, nobody, because people get in their personal feelings in an office, right? And I tell my kids like that all the time. Be honest with you, I've been in the streets my whole life. One thing I respected about the streets, and I still do respect about the streets, is when I know somebody mad at me, I know they mad at me. The guy that put a gun in my head, he looked me dead in my eyes when he put a gun in my hand. But in this business world, people do it with a pen and you never see them. They do it with an email and you never see the people that's trying to block your blessings. So, but just make sure you put yourself in a position that you in control, you in demand of what your end goal and your vision is. So but like I said, now that's gonna happen overnight. A lot of people look at it, but they don't understand that I was setting this up 25 plus years ago. I didn't know much, but I knew from day one I wanted to own myself because I watched documentaries, I listened to people. So I just wanted to make sure that no matter what, and like I said, no disrespect to investors, no disrespect to, but I just seen so many people lose stuff because they wasn't in control. They wasn't in creative control, and they wasn't in financial control. So I'd rather go to a pawn shop. That's what my building your business from broke is. Like I said, if you need $500, go in your garage and see what you ain't using, what you don't need. Take it to the pawn shop, get you $250, and flip that $250. Right? There's so many different ways that you can scramble up startup money, and keep building it yourself. But a lot of people just don't want to put in the time and the energy and the sweat equity that it takes to be successful. A lot of people want to talk success, but they don't want to be success. The success is that's the journey. That's the process. That's the struggle. Right. So I tell people, to be successful, you got to persevere your process and survive your struggle to actually be successful.
Awesome. So tell us about the workshop that's coming up. Give us details about that.
So that'll actually look at the date because it'll probably be the next Sunday because I forgot, like I said, I'm human. I had originally set it for February 7th at 7:00. Totally forgetting that Super Bowl. So I don't know how many. Sean, come on, man, you killing me, man. Super Bowl, right? And I said, yeah, you're right. So I'll probably do it the following Sunday, but definitely go to my Facebook page. But yeah, when you go to my website, SeanIngram.info, you're just gonna see a Google Meet link, and it's just simply clicking on that Google Meet link. It's for me and going forward. It's not about charging people. It's not about consultations anymore. I'll be honest with you. I know half the people that I say stuff to, they ain't even got the personal fortitude to really go get it, So I ain't gonna charge for somebody that I already know something that they ain't gonna do. But for those who do, I'm just giving the game like somebody gave it to me. I've been blessed, like I said, to be in conversations. I'm a member of the City Club, which is kind of like a, it's, what you call one of them things like a, it's like So it's like I've had conversations with people in the elevator that gave me something in 20 seconds that really changed the trajectory of my future, right? So and I said, you know what, that's what real leadership, that's what power is, right? So I wanted to be in a position of power. But like I tell people, don't be late, because I'm on my time now. So I'm telling you, when I start at 7:00, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and then I'm getting off. Because I think that's one of the things we got to train our people and our youth too. We always say we want something, just like with you, Mr. Lawrence, you telling me, what time you want me to be on. I can't be on my time, what I mean? Asking for your help, right? That don't even make sense. So a lot of times we have a mindset in the community that, it's all good. I get up there 10, 15 minutes late or whatever. No, you got to come expecting something. And that's not only me. Like I said, I'm calling friends to say, hey, tell us one of your stories that you had to, like you said, you had to dig. You was looking at the bills on Friday and say, yo, I'm at zero now. I got to get to 400. What can I do? So it's just those stories, right? Because you ain't got a time to write a grant. You ain't got time, what did you do to survive? And that's what it's all about, surviving. I was telling a friend the other day, and this goes to business too. No business has seasons, right? There is a time to build, right? There's a time to be creative. There's a time to make money, but then there's a time to survive, right? Like I think a lot of people right now, I know for myself, I'm in a survival season. I ain't even thinking about no profit. I'm just thinking like, oh, Sean, how do we survive until May or whenever, the world gets back? As a motivational speaker, I haven't even been on the stage since March, right? And that's 80-90% of my income. So it ain't about making money for me right now. So you have to change your mindset to fit into these modes.
Yeah.
And I was, like I said, I was just telling a friend there earlier. I said, no, man, it ain't about making money right now. It's about surviving, bro. You just got to survive. So that's what we focus on, just like you said. But that's what the whole conversation is, building it from broke and hoping it's a conversation. Like I said, it's just a conversation. Each one teach one. We learning from each other. Like I said, I'm hoping to, I'm hosting it, but I'm hoping to learn some great stuff from some other people that, that's gone through some things and challenges that I haven't been through. So that's what it's all about. And like I said, it's totally free. All you got to do is come on and click in and be expecting something.
Okay, and that website again is SeanIngram.com, is it?
No, .info, info. Sean Ingram, that's SeanIngram.info, info.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with us? We're gonna end with encouraging words, but anything else you want to share that you have on to share?
Well, let me just encourage. I want to end with a encouraging spoken word. I hope it.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll say it like this: I beat on my own chest just to keep myself alive, while drumming up my own courage just so I could survive this world that I'm living in. Is trying to trap my dreams in a box so small that even Tweety Bird can't sit in. I mean, how can I get in what they won't let me fit in? All I know to do now is kick down the door and run in. No black massy, only my black face. Not even a gun, only hunger under the buckle of my waist. Some say I'm a disgrace. Truly, your dream deferred. Not understanding my spoken word is Solomon Proverbs. How prolific from when they said when an amount is now I'm worth more than they can imagine, just giving my gift for. See, I live to uplift, my desire is to inspire. Now my only goal in life is to shatter the glass ceiling to keep my thoughts from going higher. For I am sire, I'm the king of my kingdom and emperor of my empire. I'm the modern day Martin and the Malcolm without the glasses, who they try to X out when I X'd out my doubt and then really started living that life that Jesus is all about.
Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time and energy and your wisdom and what you're doing with the youth, because you definitely are making a difference, because our young people, as well as old people, but definitely our young people need some guidance. A lot of them may not have fathers, and mothers or both. And, people are trying to survive and live, and then adults are dealing with their own issues. And so it's a lot. It's a lot going on. This pandemic, of course, allows people to stay home and kind of sit down and face some things maybe you hadn't faced before, or deal with some things you hadn't dealt with before. So we're thankful for individuals like yourself that's out there being a blessing to our youth.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And like I said, all I ask everybody, if you see in this, all I'm asking you for $1 donation. Trust me, I believe in collective economics. I ain't asking you to go in the streets with me. I ain't asking you to go to the trenches. I'm just asking for your support to help me help our youth. That's it.
All right, give us your Cash App again, how people can do that.
It's the $, the Sean Ingram Academy. And that's SeanIngram, the Sean Ingram Academy.
All right, you guys, I'm going to do it, and I hope you are too. Please like and share this video. You know who it's going to bless. And I will highly recommend you connecting with Mr. Sean. He has a lot of wisdom and just a lot of things that he's been through the life that can be a blessing and a testimony to you as well. So thank you, Sean, again for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, and you guys, and next time when I come to Durham, I'm gonna have to come down there because I'm from Durham.
Yeah, come check us out.
I have to come to Raleigh to come to Crabtree to see. Where exactly are you in the mall?
So we on the bottom floor. I'm like literally, I'm in the center of the mall, like literally in the center between Macy's and Belt. So I'm in the center on the bottom floor. Yep. So yeah, if you're at Crabtree, I don't care if you don't even donate. Just come through and say what's up. Like I said, one of the greatest blessings being here is honestly is the conversations that I have, and like you said, people pouring into me as well, me pouring into people. So it's just a true blessing to be out here and people. I mean, I've had so many people just to pray with me, right, and pray for me. So like I said, on a journey of leadership, when it gets so hard and discouraging and tiring, to be in a position that God sent people to pick you up. I mean, in a public mall to say, "Hey, brother, I just want to lay hands on you and pray for you." So it's definitely been a blessing to me. Personally, I suffer from manic depression and anxiety and a lot of different things. And So it's just a real, it's outside of the financial blessing, it's definitely been just a personal blessing, and it really allows me to believe even more in God and His mission and ministry for me. And he always told me, I'm gonna send my help. I'm gonna send my help. You just keep going forward. You just doing it. I tell people all the time, God missioned Noah to build the ark. He missioned me to build the Sean Ingram Academy. And
Come
of course,
on.
I can't do it on my own. So
Right.
he send the helpmates, right? So it is. It's just it's a true blessing, So
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, we're definitely grateful and appreciative of things that you do in the community. Just be encouraged. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep making it happen. Again, if you are listening to this broadcast, I encourage you to give. That, I mean, it's just a blessing. You never know how far your seed will go. And I know I'm going to do it today. So I encourage you, if you're hearing this and you're listening to this video, just be a blessing. Let the Lord use you. Go ahead and tell you
that's the
about the Lord.
latest. Yeah, that's the latest book, From Poverty to Prison to Prosperity. Though that's the actual autobiography right there. Like I said, it's available worldwide. Just Google Sean Ingram books, and you will see any books or anything I have. So thank you so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you so much. You have an awesome, phenomenal day, and keep making it happen. Thank you again.
All right, good. God bless.
You too. This is John Ingram, and this is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. You all have a phenomenal day. Hold on, Sean.